ਫੈਡਰਲ ਓਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਪੀਅਰ ਪੋਲੀਵਰ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਖਾਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ, ਸਵਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਕੀਤੇ ਚਾਈਨਾ ਦੇ ਇੰਟਰਫੇਰੈਂਸ ਦੀ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਪਬਲਿਕ ਔਰ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਇਨਕੁਆਇਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਔਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਓਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਡਿਮਾਂਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਟਰੂਡੋ इंक्वायरी ਲਈ हाँ कहोगे कि नहीं। सो कंजरवेटिव भी मांग रही है कि इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए। ਅਸੀਂ देखते हैं पीयर पॉलीवर ਨਾਲ कुछ खास मुद्दे, कुछ खास इशूज़ बेल रिफॉर्म तो लैके क्राइम रेट तो लैके चाइना इंटरफेरेंस तो लैके सो किद्दां देखते सारा पॉलिटिकल सिनेरियो ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ हैं पीयर पॉलीवर ਜਿਹੜੇ कि ओपोजिशन ਦੇ लीडर है। पॉलीवर like what you will say about the China's interference in Canadian politics, what do you think, because we heard your last statement in which you said you need a independent commissioner. It should not be biased, like it should be independent. What does that mean?
Yes, well, we know Justin Trudeau would love to bias the process to shut it down and shut it up. He'd like it to be done in secret, and he'd like Canadians to only find out a small number of details vetted through his hand-picked Liberal establishment chair. And we know that because the guy that he hired to do the first report on the foreign interference is the former head of the Trudeau Foundation, which got $200,000 in donations from China, right? So we can't trust Trudeau to pick an independent voice. We're worried that he'll just pick another Liberal hack. We want it to be someone who's truly independent, and we want the information to be made public. No more secrets. We've had 10 years of secrets. We now know that the Chinese Communist government has been trying to influence and support Justin Trudeau since 2013, when they originally made their donation to the Trudeau Foundation. Trudeau knew that. He's had countless briefings showing it, and he's been covering it up and saying nothing about it. So we can't trust him. The Canadian people deserve the truth because our government should work for the people, not for a foreign dictatorship.
Mr. Polyev, we have seen the Chinese balloon over Canadian space and US space, and is a concern for the security of Canada. Like how come third country balloons flown over so many countries? It means that Canada is weak, their borders are weak. Reason I am asking this because carjackings, it's a Canadian problem. And in this hall also we know many of the people, their cars had been stolen twice, thrice.
Yeah.
There is no solution so far from any of the government for last 3 years. What is the solution? There was a suggestion came off that let's stop the export of used car, but nobody listened. So what is the solution for stopping the carjackings?
Well, lock up the carjackers. I mean, well, Trudeau brought in a bail law that allows multiple reoffenders to be released the same day they're arrested. And that's why the people get arrested, they go back out on the street, they reoffend, they get arrested, they get released, they go back out on the street, they reoffend again and again and again and again. As I said earlier tonight, in Vancouver, the same 40 people had to be arrested 6,000 times. 40 people, 6,000 arrests. Why? They're released the same day under Justin Trudeau's catch and release bail system. Let's get rid of that system and require that those who have a track record of violence and serious crimes, who are arrested, stay behind bars rather than being automatically released.
For the Ukraine and Russia war, we have seen that there might be a nuclear conflict because Russia cancelled the nuclear weapon treaty with the US. And Canada is giving lot of donation aid to Ukraine. And what is the solution? Like why Canada can't play a role in stopping the war instead of fueling it?
The Canada cannot control when the war ends, but we should stand against illegal foreign invasions of any country. More importantly, we have to bring home security to Canada. Trudeau, after 8 years of Justin Trudeau, our military is weak, our nation is vulnerable. We're unable to defend ourselves. And that means we need to rebuild our armed forces, our intelligence, and our ability to protect ourselves against future conflict. We don't know how quickly these things spin out of control, and all of a sudden Canada's military is needed to protect our people. So we need to bring home a strong national defense so that our home and native land is protected.
Canada needs manpower. We have a lot of land, but the manpower which is required is not coming here. That's the reason the restaurant where we are standing, many of these kinds, they have multiple locations. They don't get a qualified and trained chef here. Their files get rejected. Yeah. What you'll say?
Well, after 8 years of Justin Trudeau, the immigration system is broken. There's 2 million people waiting, 1 million waiting longer than the acceptable deadline. Businesses can't fill vacancies. I spoke with a Punjabi restaurant in Surrey, BC, and they had a beautifully decorated restaurant. They had the tablecloths, the cutlery, the plates. I walked around and I said, there's no people. Why are there no people? Can't get a chef. So, well, why don't you bring in a chef from India? They applied. They've been waiting 5 years under Justin Trudeau to bring the chef. No chef, no restaurant. It was like a haunted restaurant. It was so empty. And that's what Justin Trudeau has done to our immigration system. Good, decent, honorable business people and workers, future workers that could be coming and supporting our economy are blocked because of his total incompetence. Even while he's doubled the cost of the bureaucracy, he delivers worse results. So we're gonna deliver real results to bring people here quicker and support our economy.
Canadian parents are worried because cannabis are legal, because the fentanyl, cocaine, everything has become decriminalized in the British Columbia also. Do you agree with these policies? Because parents are worried, those kids, those who are not in this line to consume, now they don't have a fear from the parents because it's illegal.
I'm against Justin Trudeau and the NDP legalizing heroin, fentanyl, crack, cocaine, and other hard drugs. After 8 years of Justin Trudeau, 30,000 people have died of drug overdoses. Violent crime is up 32%. Gang killings up 92%. That is what 8 years of Justin Trudeau will do to a country. A Poilievre government will do exactly the opposite. We will ban heroin, fentanyl, crack, and other drugs. We will, instead of blowing billions going after hunting rifles, as he's doing, we're going to put that money into securing our border to keep out the drugs and guns. And we're going to provide treatment and recovery to our struggling brothers and sisters who are addicted rather than giving them more drugs.
Foreign relations. Canada is not in good terms with India, with Russia, with China, with Saudi, and many more countries. If you are the Prime Minister, if you make a government, what will be your focus on improving the foreign relations with these countries and others?
Well, after 8 years of Justin Trudeau, this Liberal government is seen as a joke in the world stage. He made a complete idiot out of himself when he went to India. He danced around. The Indian people said, get lost, and they called him a clown, and he hasn't been able to do business with India ever since. He's been trampled upon by Beijing. First, they called him Little Potato. Remember, they gave him the nickname Little Potato, and he thought it was a compliment. What they meant is that he's so gullible that they knew they could control him, so they called him Little Potato, and they have been smacking him around ever since, and our country is more vulnerable. What the world respects is strength. I'm going to bring home strength, bring home a stronger military, stronger natural resources. We will make our own oil, gas, steel, food, and houses. We will build all of those things here in Canada. In other words, we will bring it home.
When can you expect the elections? Because the Jagmeet Singh, in his last interview, he's supporting inside the parliament, he's supporting the government. They are not discussing the bills. Outside the parliament, he's the biggest critic of the government also. So what do you see of this policy of NDP, and when can you expect the elections?
Well, the NDP is nothing more than a mouthpiece for Justin Trudeau. They've signed a deal, and Jagmeet Singh is basically like a junior employee in the Prime Minister's office. And he's doing Justin Trudeau's work. He's covering up Justin Trudeau's scandals. He's helping Justin Trudeau increase housing costs and inflation, and he has absolutely no credibility. If he really had any honor, he would stop working for Justin Trudeau and start working for the Canadian people, as the Conservatives are doing. In other words, we're going to bring it home.
And when can you expect the elections?
It's up to when Jagmeet Singh stops covering up for Justin Trudeau, then we'll have an election.
Your final message to Canadians.
Listen, I know that after 8 years of Trudeau, things have never been worse. Inflation at a 40-year high. You can't afford food. Your children can't move out of their basements, your basement, because of the doubling of housing costs. You don't feel safe in your streets because Trudeau's catch and release policies have made our streets into crime zones. You're watching relatives die of drug overdoses, and now you learn that Trudeau is being controlled by foreign governments. It doesn't have to be this way. We're going to replace the hurt he has caused with the hope that Canadians need. We're going to cap the cost of government, cut the waste, fire the high-priced consultants, lower income taxes so that you bring home more of each dollar you earn, and we actually reward hard work. We're going to make your dollar go further by ending the inflationary deficits and the carbon tax, and we're going to make our streets safe again by keeping violent repeat offenders behind bars and giving drug treatment and recovery to our brothers and sisters who need it. In other words, we're going to bring it home, bring home more of what you earn, bring home home ownership, bring home our jobs and businesses back to this country. That's what I will do as Prime Minister. It's common sense. Now let's bring it home.
I like bring it home.